Hello, Voyagers from all over the world. This is Harris again from Southeast China. How are things going? Happy Thanksgiving to people in North America. Hi, Laurie, James, Terry, Joanne, John, Hallie, Ava. It's 8:30 here. I'm in the commercial center of this village area. I'm going to visit an old man who we visited almost 1 month ago, and he lives around here. This is the main river that runs across this village. It's a cloudy day. You can see the mist hovering at the top of the mountains around. Thank you, Laurie. Thanksgiving is not in Canada today. Our Thanksgiving is in October. Oh, really? Oh, I don't know that. I will have a check. Thank you for letting me know. All right, now let me walk you through this commercial center part of the village, just to see what people are doing on a usual morning. Now it's early winter here. Different from late autumn, temperature has stabilized. Half a month ago, when it was still the end of autumn, let's say, it was pretty cold on the two ends of the day, early morning and late afternoon and evening. Well, in the day, there was a sun, pretty hot, but now it's kind of cloudy mode, in a cloudy mode. So it's basically throughout the day, temperature is very similar, and there's not much sun. As now we are getting into winter, not much sun. This is the local butchers. This is actually the slaughterhouse. Some pigs were just slaughtered this morning. The meat is being sold over there. There's still warmth coming from the meat.今天早上刚杀的哈。Look at the meat from a pig that was still alive a couple of hours ago. And this man is the owner of the shop. He is the butcher. And this man, actually, I don't know what his name is. But when I talk with my wife, with my children, I refer to him as Zhang Fei. That's funny because this man, to me, looks like a character that is in a famous Chinese literary classic called The Three Kingdoms. The Three Kingdoms. That's right. And in the story of the Three Kingdoms, one of the protagonists called Zhang Fei, this man looks like that character. You may wonder why, because that character doesn't really have a face, as the characters in the Three Kingdoms time lived so long time ago. That is because there's a famous TV series filmed in China many, many years ago, maybe some 20 years ago. And the actor who played the role of Zhang Fei, a historical figure, looks like the man. That's why I refer to him as Zhang Fei. And here is the busiest shop. There are a couple of shops around, but this shop is at the most convenient location, at the best feng shui spot, the best convenient location. That's why there are always people gathering here. And also because there is actually a bus stop here. You know, when there are passengers waiting, the bus stops here to pick up the people. That's why. What is the temperature right now in this village? The temperature now in this village, first of all, have a look at how people are dressed. It's early winter, it's not that cold. The temperature is about, is mild. 15 to 20 degrees Celsius, about 15. Yeah. And in the shop, which is actually a grocer's, people can buy miscellaneous daily items, plus fresh vegetables and meat and fish. It's the best local grocers. You can see some rustic rooms. And the shop next door is a hairdresser's. Is a hairdresser's. 说英语的，对。
说英语的
看抖音是不是？
他抖音
不是抖音，我们一起合个照吧。Some curious local folks are coming here to check what I'm doing. So maybe let's take a group photo here. 我们一起看镜头。他们来自于世界各地的。
应该听到那个。
People from all over the world are watching. I just told them. They are curious.
他给外国人看是吧？
中国人也可以看。
外国人
这个平台是世界的呀，
中国人听
都可以上网的呀。
本来送梦过。
介绍一下世界的文化。对。
他这个里头的对吧？
I feel like a foreigner here because I speak in English and I'm filming, so people are actually gathering around me. All right. This is the village where my wife was born and grew up. I'm not originally from this village. People here speak a dialect, which is not easy for people who speak Mandarin to understand. Yeah, they just mentioned 外国人. 外国人 is the phrase spoken in local dialect, meaning foreigners. Or in Mandarin, we say 外国人, but here they say 外国人. Well, this phrase alone isn't that different, but they are different. Okay, now let me turn around to what is she eating? She is eating something like a crisp, but it's a different shape. 想看一下你这边吃的东西. And it's like a kind of popcorn made of rice. The ingredient is very simple. It's just a rice, but it's a long tube. It's a tube. Why are they laughing? It's kind of I would say, naivety of the local villagers of China. Okay, now we are going into the house. Give you a look at the facade of the house. Actually, it's a building of two blocks, adjoined. You can have a look, yeah. And there are 3 floors. And there's also a roof part, 3 floors. Both blocks belong to one family. And they will say that one is for the elder brother, the other one is for the younger brother. But actually, there were a couple of siblings in this family. And we will visit the patriarch of the family, the 93-year-old veteran who used to fight in the Korean battlefields in 1950s, in the beginning of 1950s. And here is the door. It's actually an iron sheet roll-up door. This kind of thing looks like a shop, something for a shop, but it's quite common in China. A lot of people live in this kind of, you can say, the whole structure looks like a shop house, but even the first floor looks like a storefront. Yeah, but it's somebody's home. It's not unusual in China. Well, as you step in, 大家好. As you step in, you can see the two masters of this family, the gentleman on the right and the lady on the left. 好的呀，那最好一起来。好的，我先拍一下家里的环境，看一下。So you can see quite eye-catching on the wall. Here are those pictures and posters. So let's go through them quickly here. This is actually a calendar. And the picture here is from a TV series. I'm not sure what year, what time, but you can see there are actors who play the roles as Chairman Mao, Zhou Enlai, Zhu De, the state leaders of China upon the founding of New China back in 1949. The founding of New China, 1949. And here is the character that stands for fortune or luck. It's a very Chinese abstract concept that is able to put a lot of good things in. And I also noted that here is a People's Daily. It's the most important political newspaper in China, People's Daily. And there's a headline here that says, President Xi Jinping, upon invitation, met the U.S. President Donald Trump on the phone. Well, this piece of newspaper was published in the year 2017. 5 years ago in October. 5 years ago in October. This is the man. Look. You can't miss all the medals here. Chairman Mao is like a shining sun. There's a famous song in China that is called East is Red. And the lyrics in the beginning go like, East is red, the sun has risen. And there in the east appears a man, Mao Zedong. And go on and on. This is a poster, but last time when I saw this, I told the old man, maybe he should change for a new one, because this is the last political standing committee members, not in the current office. But of course, some are still in the office, and you can try to see who are still in the office. I think three. Three are still in the office. Yeah, Trump says he's a good friend with Chairman Xi. Yeah, and Trump says he's also good friends with Putin. Oh, okay. Look, it's a copy of a certificate, and the caption going down is something not written by this old man, because he actually didn't go to any school. He's 93 years old. When he was a boy, he didn't go to any school. the family was so poor, so unfortunate, like many others in China, that he would rather to join army to fight. Therefore, he could find something, a shelter, find something to eat in a unit. So the caption here was written actually by his grandson, one of the grandsons. Dictated by this old man. Here it says, I joined the army in 1950, December the 5th. At that time, I only got married for 28 days. I left my hometown, left my wife, father, siblings behind to liberate Taiwan. I became a Navy soldier, but soon after that, the Korean War broke out. I immediately stripped off the Navy uniform and put on the army uniform of the Chinese Liberation Army. We crossed the Yalu River, went to the battlefield in Korea, and fought against the Allied forces led by the United States until 1953, July the 15th. We won the Great War against the United States for North Korea or Korea. So that's interesting. Actually, he originally was a Navy soldier, and the purpose was to liberate Taiwan. Here is a group photo of this man with his comrades in arms. By the way, this lady here is the lady who is with us now, and she is the second wife of the man. The man has had 2 marriages, and now they have a large family, a lot of children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. The couple now together, they have 他们现在是5个儿子2个女儿是吧？ The couple together now they have 5 sons and 2 daughters. And for the man, out of 2 marriages, 5 sons and 2 daughters. This is the typical setting in a Chinese family in rural area. The decorative painting hanging in the middle of the hall, the god of longevity, in red background and flanked by the poetic couplets with the Chinese calligraphy on it. Here is the dining table and some frequently used items for life. And last time when we interviewed this man, he told us that we talked about how he lived. And he said he is very attentive to a healthy lifestyle. And this is evident even here on the refrigerator. This is what he has put on the door of the refrigerator, talking about the things you need to pay attention in maintaining your health. And the title Here it says a fridge. Be wary of enteritis that stems from like a fridge, because don't take a fridge as your safety box. A fridge is not a safety box. And here you can see the different herbs he keeps. Something he drinks on a daily basis. He likes drinking water and tea with the herbs in a lot. And by the way, this man is also very interested in reading newspapers. This is his daily habits. He likes learning, actually, even though he didn't go to any school. And he has a lot of snippets cut from the newspapers that he reads on a daily basis. Later, we can show you some. 这个报纸我们看一下好不好？上面二战的，它上面的二战的什么？
抗击战噻。
哦。
一般老城的政府那些大屠杀那些芯片哈。你的政府肯买来的。
Last time he showed me a deck of the newspapers that he collected, and with notes on the paragraphs. 然后你这些汉字是之后学的啊？这些汉字是之后学的，是吧？汉字。He didn't go to school, and here I'm going to show you this. After the Korean War was over, and he went to a military school, got this certificate. And this military school at that time was located in Shenyang in northeastern China, near the border with North Korea and even Russia. And in that school, he learned the basic Chinese characters, which laid the foundation for now for him to read. Of course, he has the habit of reading, so I'm sure after some years, he was able to read years ago. Do they understand your Mandarin, or are they speaking the local dialect to them? They are speaking the local dialect. My wife is here with them, and they are speaking the local dialect. They are not used to the Mandarin, but they can understand Mandarin. They don't speak Mandarin all that well, but they can understand. 好，那么坐吧，老先生，你坐。今天早上吃点什么？
早上吃面了。
早上面。
今天早上吃面是吧？2 days ago, we passed his home to just say hello and notify them that we would be coming in 2 days for an interview. And then we saw them eating breakfast, which was a kind of a soup with rice and in Chinese fermented rice wine for the flavor. Yeah, that kind of stuff. And today I just asked him what he ate this morning for breakfast. He said noodles. 汤面是吧？汤面。Yeah, they had noodles in soup this morning. 然后这个报纸上的内容我还是很感兴趣的，就是对，您现在在喝茶是吧？喝茶。兰兰，能不能让他就是讲述一下，就是他的就是比如说以前打仗的一些经历什么的，或者有就是奇闻异事之类的，就是以前的经历。
佢講那個即係沖上因為那個股市活動啊，打到那經理哈，打到預測呢個多事哈，打生意好多事，打到當佢嗰啲處理㗎，因為經理活動㗎。
那個我們去孔門運超啊，從家裡走路到屯區，到學習，再到屯區呢，搭那個後期啊， 露天个好像老早烧木糖的，
嗯
再到五湖，
哦
五湖呢，写的也是到南京、珠江、长江，
他从这里就是抗美援朝的时候，从这里一直走路走到歙县，再到屯溪，再从屯溪那边坐火车，就露天的那种烧煤的那种
露天的火车，
烧木炭的，
对，烧木炭的，到南京，再从南京渡江，渡到哪里呢？
这期间呢，
那在
你也看见了。
你也看了，
你看，找那个张曼那个后期啊，这垃圾上去才看，都也好，东西也好，啥也好，就是那个上也看见。
我哪买？
到哪里啊？
也看到那个列宁山鸭绿江。
直接开到鸭绿江了。
一直开到鸭绿江。
对，南京那边直接去鸭绿江。
那在家不在？
对不对
Yeah, the man.
到那里以后呢，后美国，后美国。
他到了那边要学美国话。
要学一点英语。
学美国。
要学几句简单的英语。
你必须要懂得美国的朝前捕杀，就是手在头上啊，或者俘虏啊，腰带俘虏啊。你美国。
万一你是俘虏了。
在乎有个老师教的。
有个老师教的是中国老师，是朝鲜的还是中国的？
上那个美国哈。
那老师是哪里的人啊？
那是上面的。
中国的哈，对中国的。中国的留学生啊。是吗？好，那稍微等一下，我跟他们。
7天。在那个7天呢。
7天培训啊。
后的1个礼拜7天哈，在那个7天里面，我和潮水我。
再学了，还学了一些朝鲜话。好的，让我先解释一下，让我跟他们解释一下。翻译一下，英语翻译一下。让我先翻译一下。
潮水我呢，他是。
稍微等一下，我跟观众解释一下，因为他们需要听英语来解释，好吗？好。So the man just now was recounting his old stories, and he says, after the outbreak of the Korean War, he joined the army, and then he walked all the way from his home around here to the main county. Yeah, and it's something that nowadays you need to drive for maybe 1 hour, to get. But he walked there, and then from there, they went further to another town called Tunxi, which is very close to the famous scenic spot of China called the Yellow Mountain, the Huangshan Mountain. And there, they 从那个屯溪到南京的话，他们是怎么去？坐火车。From there, they started to take the train, an open top style train, and with also coal, some carriages for coal. And they took on that kind of train to Nanjing, and from Nanjing they went all the way to the Yalu River, which is the closest river with the border of the present-day North Korea. And then there was a session of 7 days in which they learned some basic English, just enough for them to be engaged with maybe American soldiers, just the basic words. And the trainer was actually a Chinese, but who studied overseas. Yeah, and was their trainer. All right, so let's go ahead. 继续可以说。
你继续讲。
到了后美国后的那个几百个月啊，这个称呼美国北路在的朝前捕杀，就是手在头上啊，又在俘虏啊，那你道，有人给他俘虏草了，你必须烧点饭给我，给你俘虏草呢，你必须晚给我，再后潮水我。
再学习朝鲜语。
韩国和朝鲜语，一个国比较等到西北风上你不当，英语不当，文字也不当，再蒙蒙样的你也搞不清楚，如果你万一超出很多年龄上下呢，称呼呢，等不，你的大大的手 给你抄水我，
朝鲜话了。
哎，
这怎么说的？再说一遍。
发到中国呢
啊，
就是通知立即的到哪里朝哪里走。
哦，外国。
你再产生讲一遍，看看那句汉语。
通过，你的大大的手。
通过你的大大的胸。
这个本子，你的路朝哪里走？
哦 ，OK， 稍微等一下。
你是个好人。
稍微等一下。
哦，稍微等一下，你是个好人。
这个好人告我一下哈，朝哪里走
？OK. So in the same time, they also learned some Korean sentences, and for those English sentences, were just the basic ones for them. For example, in case they were a captive to the American army, and what they should say, and also if they got an American captive, and what they should say, and also they learned some Korean sentences like he just repeated one. Quite impressive that he still remembers for saying, asking for directions. So where I should go, where is, something like this for directions. Yeah.
真比较是这个女人啊，你要问交给交给做哪个呢？阿姊妹你的大大的。
这不是日语了吗？
那不是一般语的吗？
要抄询我。
抄询我哈。
阿姊妹
哦，阿姊妹
你的大大的，就是呢，阿姊妹就是会给你们做大嫂。
叫大嫂。
阿姊妹
啊，整个做大嫂。你的大大的手就是你是个好人。
大大的手。
阿姊妹，你的大大。
你供给这个好人给高兴了，给就要搞人了，不应该不搞人了。
阿兹莫尼的意思就是
大
嫂，
整个叫大嫂哈，这里到长崎完了之后，到深圳完了之后哈。
问路怎么问？你以为讲他好嘛，他就高兴了哈。
Okay.
他就高兴了。
So maybe we want, if there are Korean languages, speaker watching this program, maybe you can help us identify. And the old gentleman just said, "Atsmoni" is a term you say in Korean to greet a lady, an aged lady, so that you can start a conversation if you see a lady. Yeah, all right. 然后的话，你可以继续说。
超市呢？超市的老
板。那海军在我们到南京个了。
海军去南京，那个海军去南京。
什么？
南京。
南京啊。
上海到南京。
去到海军的。
就是
海军对，先参加海军。
原来呢，去的时候呢，是跟去结婚带我的。就去的海军服。就那个性别都来历不尽了，老早拍个照片都拍不齐的。再也没时间给你拍照片。到照片公司拍的都几毛了，发的。后来呢，美国的所有的单位呢，要是老毛来做要跟他了。就超训发动造成的耽误结婚不成了。
但是他从南京去鸭绿江的时候，本来是海军嘛，说是去解放台湾的，结果呢就叫他们海军衣服脱掉，直接上了那个朝鲜战场去了。
穿的志愿军的服装。
穿了志愿军的服装了，就不是海军的衣服了。
Before they got to Nanjing, on the train, they knew that they actually were going to join the battle to liberate Taiwan. Yeah, and as Chairman Mao instructed, and here among Chinese folks, they refer to Chairman Mao as Old Mao. Old Mao, they call it Lao Mao, Old Mao. And but in Nanjing, they got a newer direction to go to North Korea to join the battle over there. Yeah, actually, this is something actually in accordance with the common narratives of the time. Yeah, then that's right. 然后的话，就是当时的话，这个朝鲜战场上的情况怎么样呢？
朝鲜战，后来以后呢， 像鸭绿江啊，那等是，各鸭绿江，鸭绿江这边呢，去苏联啊，那个高铁炮大飞机，保护那个青岛的，各鸭绿江的青岛，那青岛呢，
保护什么？
保护么啦？
金兆是什么
保护
东西？
铁的鸭绿江。
哦，保护鸭绿江。
政府到脱水
就是
成鸭绿江
中国的那个鸭绿江不是有桥
铁
吗？
杆道，
铁架桥。
铁杆道，铁杆道呢，打得活生生的。
哦，打
那个
的刮了下来。
底下那个水沙沙的都破洞破的都，吓死人的。
哦，底下的水那样打起来，人都
在
很害怕。
晚上那种呢，水到水啊，你还够着，不过铁的了，应该应。从那边走到鸭绿江那边、小区那边把那个，后来大楼那边哈，南登那边把那个老老厂，那就不能生的，真正去走嘞，后头走嘞，不是后面走哎，你个后头生活生活天天叫后面全的开，后面全的开啊，后面全的开，他身上还有100多斤称哎，
身上背了100多斤重的东西，人和人之间是要手挽着手。然后夹在一起这样子走过去的，
哎，过那个鸭绿江。
过鸭绿江。
如果人过杀出来，那边绊着死都不可能的。
就等于说形成一个人链，
对，
来过河是吧？
人一个是往到。
然后当时您说这个苏联那边提供了火炮的养护，是不是？
苏联军的。
Yeah, the man said
when they 那个大飞机那个好像没有了。
when they crossed the Yalu River to the side of Korea, the Russian or then Soviet Union artillery provided the cover for them. And when they crossed the river, they actually all the soldiers formed a chain. They stood shoulder to shoulder with each other. They formed a chain, and they kind of moved very slowly and like a tight-knit chain, inch by inch, across to the other side of the river. Yeah.
过江以后到底超水地高了。白天呢不敢走路。
白天不敢走路。
不敢走，美国的飞机啊，日夜搞得开。
美国的飞机日夜都在飞。
飞机啊，飞机啊，你白天晚上他都那里搞得开。很多哈，经常哈。所以就晚上的行动，白天不敢行动。
白天不行动，只有晚上敢行动。
我们那是靠地地台。
好的。
这个1795年就是联合国派来的美国是几家伙？
机械化。
我们现在几家伙切制化哈，摩托车啊，后天汽车哈。
中国的兵只能靠2条腿。
好的，我等一下，稍微等一下。他刚才这一段之前他说的是那个，
就是他说美国的飞机啊，它是白天夜里都在一直
明白。
白天不敢走的，晚上行动。
This is what he just said, and when in Korea for the battle, they didn't move in the daytime, as there were American airplanes. I mean the fighters or the war crafts flying once every while in the sky. So they didn't come out in the day. They mainly moved in the night. And also they saw that the American or the Allied force led by American, maybe more precisely, but oftentimes they like to just say Americans. The American army was highly mechanized and motorized. A lot of machines are moving around. But what they did was just on their feet and hands. Yeah.
靠的呢，军队靠的晚上行动，白天当夜里当白天。那个白天呢，整个就靠哪里胜利呢？一个就靠人多，
一个靠人多，
为王。
一个靠人多，还有个为什么？
维吾啊，
威什么？
人到为伍，
印度维吾哈，印度势力大哈，
啊，人多实力大。
人多实力大啊。
哎，
嗯
这你那个4个手榴弹，一个炸药包，
嗯
加一群子弹，
哦，
这个一
手榴弹、
群钢
炸药
链，
包，还有
加一个
子弹
药包，一个手柄，
还有
加一个背包
哦
啊。你靠在上阵场你得比把这个身上，
他整个身上都背满了，等于说。
是吧？
对。
哎
哦，稍微等一下，稍微等一下。他之前稍微再提示一下说了什么？
他说就是中国人，他基本上是靠这个两条腿的，不像他们机械化的，
对的，
对。
哎，比较先进。
Yeah, so he said compared to the American force, we Chinese and the Korean soldiers relied on our hands and feet. And he also said there was actually strength on our side in the number of people, because there were many more people on our side, meaning Chinese and the Koreans, and also every soldier was heavily loaded with a lot of bullets, grenades, and guns, yeah, etc. for the fight. Yeah, and the point of what the man just talked about was that there was strength from China in the number of people, the manpower. 这边有个观众提问啊，他说，只是观众的他随意的提问，比如说你现在怎么看待美国呢？你现在你对美国人，你是什么印象？就是说你讨厌他们吗？还是觉得是也喜欢他们？
美国呢，其实当时美国人啊，军队啊，我们都是当兵的。父亲没毛仇恨，非常支持和美国军队没毛仇恨，是上场的，搞来搞去的，大概呢，那么共产党在朝鲜战场打胜仗的主要的一个古代这个书记啊，为国家抗美援保家卫国啊，爱国爱家乡。
好的，稍微等一下。
他事先没毛领导的。
Yeah, the man said that, Joe, I just raised your question to this man about if or not he likes United States now. He says, at that time, the war involved the soldiers on both sides. But he said we were just soldiers, kind of following the instructions. Well, the main conflict was actually at the top level, in a more political and military level at the top. Yeah, so there was no hatred actually between the people fighting in the front. In the front. 后面最后还说了什么？
就是说我们普通的这个下面军队的百姓是没有这个仇恨的。
没有仇恨。
对。他的意思就是说，这都是上面领导层的意思。
不是这样。
对，就是说我们因为保家卫国嘛。
好的，没事。
好，你继续跟。
当时不考虑死和我，考虑一个站在一个的大小。
他考虑的不是死和活，就是考虑怎么把这次战争给打胜。
Actually, I just, in the earlier narration of this man, he also mentioned that another reason that how Chinese army were able to win the war, in addition to the number of soldiers, was that people here were more brave, the valor.
美国兵呢？他们生活条件好，武器好，权力早上好，海防更严啊，前炮子弹起的这个防备，比如志愿军好，但是为什么给要打巴掌呢？这个一个怕欺负，怕死。
All right, this is another good point. he said that the American soldiers lived and worked in better conditions as they were more developed. So while Chinese soldiers, they could win because they were not afraid of losing lives. They were not afraid of any hardships. Yeah, actually, quite interestingly, the man just, I think, kind of summarized the 3 points that a lot of Chinese people, including him, think why Chinese people, as they see, could win the Korean War. First of all, the number of people. We had many more people. 2, people here were more brave, not afraid of death. And 3, people here loved their country more. The passion. 接下去的话，能不能请这个王老把那个一些报纸上的一些摘要笔记我想看一下。
你跟报纸的，你不去找你回来笔记的，那你找报纸的笔记还给看的，可以不？
那个我就是新报纸。
没事就看看，对，就看一下。我现在
看那个哈，
对，
欣赏的。
就不要紧，不要紧。
就我现在拍着看一下。对，可以吗？好的呀，那也没事。
那么志愿军最大的战争的提点
最大的缺点是什么？
提点优点哈。
特点还是优点啊？
这个呢，天更越烈，气候越烈越大。白天呢睡觉，晚上呢全冷了。那个天更呢越冷越靠近大灯敌军越大。
好，稍微等一下。
很想要
The man added another point of merit of Chinese soldiers to win the war. That is, actually, it was something related to what I just mentioned earlier, but he just put it in another way. He said that the hotter the weather was, the more brave the soldiers fought. The colder, extremely cold the weather was, the more brave and the more motivated the soldiers of China fought. And also, they kind of switched the night and the day. In the daytime, when it was bright, American soldiers and the crafts moved around, they hit. Or in the night, when the American soldiers were having a rest, they came out to attack or to deploy something. 好的。
晚上你自己洗个洗嘴嘴晚上洗个嘴嘴都看不清。越大。
He said, the darker the night was, to the extent that they couldn't even see their 10 fingers, the better chance for them to fight. 然后您大概是几年几月回到就是回国的？没想说挺好的。
适当很不好。因为你是人山人海战术。
人山人海战术。
真不是靠敌人，不是靠武器。
到
体育群都快。
没事，我知道的，其实跟观众介绍过的。Joe, he came back from the Korean War in 1953. Yeah. But of course, before he eventually came back to the hometown, after the war, he also went to a military school in northeastern China. The certificate of which I just showed you, right? And there, he learned some basic Chinese characters. And then, last time I also asked him if he ever went to Beijing. He said he passed Beijing once on the way back from northeast China to his hometown. He only passed Beijing. He didn't stop in Beijing. And last time I also asked him if he was ever received by any important political figure in China. He said no. Like I asked him if he was ever received by the then Chinese defense minister, Peng Dehuai, the chief commander of China for the Korean War. He said no. I also asked him if he ever saw Chairman Mao or Premier Zhou Enlai or other state leaders. He said no. Right? This is just something I put aside for you to know. Did he learn Mandarin in the military school? Yes, Joe. He learned Mandarin in the military school. Yeah. And I want to repeat that again. For people in his age, China saw a lot of families and people who lived in extreme poverty-stricken conditions. So unfortunate that a lot of men, and last time we saw another man who actually said something similar, that was so poor, so hopeless, that they would rather to join the army to fight a war. Therefore, they could actually find a place to provide for themselves, to live and to eat. Yeah, this is an important point I want to mention. 然后的话，就是可不可以看一下那个报纸？那个报纸上的信息我很喜欢，就上面有一些很好的一些信息。
我带这给你。
He received many medals in the war. Yes, he received many medals in the war, Joe. And he has 他有5个重要的奖章，是吧？
对。
朝鲜战争开始到结束，那个报纸上都有。
都有。
对。我很高兴的。自个经历过那个哈。
对。
中国人民志愿军为什么能打胜仗呢？最大一个诚心提点啊，党部的干部啊，共产党员、共青团员呢，向全民发动决心啊，提醒呢，这些中国的孩子，争取他们正当这个问题成啊啥，就不一样的想法了。那么我们来讲呢，一个干部组的、共产组的规划是这样一个党兵的前进啊，下的树啊，春季啊，下不去啊，各位的好啊，考试啊，这个影响不到的。
但是你拿你配，拿你呢，来说哈，拿他对的。所以拿你看整理的那搞出来就是。
那有个可以判断的。
真高难跑来的，这些多难的细节。
他刚才说了什么？
他说，就是他们志愿军的领导，都冲在前线上，你后面的兵就更加要跟着，就把死之外要跟上了。人家1000只鸭都下得水，你下不得水啊！就是大家一起都得要跟上这个战场哈，就没有逃兵的哈，就往前冲哈。
其实那些当兵的上去当官才还是比较少。
对。
先发动。
就人家像这种兵的话，基本上都是兵在前面冲，当官的在后面指挥，相反的哈。
Last time I asked the gentleman a question I came up with, that is, if there was any shooting squad when they fought in Korea. The question I asked the last time, just to gain some materials for this tour. And he said, actually, every soldier on the ground then was kind of empowered to shoot anyone that they found like a traitor or not daring to fight, something like this. But he also added that, but in practice, they didn't do that because everybody was pretty much focused and busy at their own fights. Basically, not just for losing your own life. So there was no attention that you could pay to do like the shooting on any suspectable traitor. So, yeah, and the man just now added that, as my wife translated that, in the Korean War, Chinese commanders, not a chief commander, but the commanders at different levels, he saw that they actually fought in person in a brave manner as he saw. Therefore, the ranks and the files at the lower level were also motivated to fight. He said this is also very different from what happened later and also what is maybe nowadays. He suggested that if there were war today, the Chinese commanders at different levels won't go to the front to fight to make a model. Instead, they would maybe hide behind to just let the fires and ranks to fight, something like this. And last time he also mentioned that he doesn't think that the Chinese people nowadays in the younger generation have the courage to fight a war because those people, they kind of were brought up as a single child, yeah, and they don't have the grit and the courage to fight in any war. He highly doubted that. Does China acknowledge the soldiers now in any way, financial support or ceremonies? 现在有个问题，就是现在中国的政府对于你们这些就是退伍的朝鲜战场的老兵，有什么经济上的支持？然后对你们有什么优待吗？或者说特殊的待遇吗？
属农的，
做农的，
农业，他是一个月像我们写信的，1700-20块钱一个月。
这属于是退休金的一部分吗？
不是农业的。
农业的哦。
政府很呐。
政府给你
1720块钱一个月。
在国际军军节就好了。
在国际军军节呢，跟5000或者6000。
哦，是吧？一次性的。
建军节给他一点。
给他一次性5000多。
对。
每年。
每年。
啊，每年一次性的。
5000或者6000。
啊。
这是我们设限。其他地区要高一点。
然后他之前提到1700多，那是每个月的。
这是每个月的。
这是每个月的
啊。
这个1700多是因为他是退伍的老兵吗？
他没有的。
他农业的。
他就是
是我们这里就没有的。
海的干部哈，他是乡镇
退休的那个退休工资。
他是干部就没有。这春节国际军军节，他的慰问。500块钱。
春节啊？
国际
军节。
慰问500。
慰问到门上来，慰问很500块钱一个很低保。
哦。
春节呢，300块钱。
300块钱。
啊。
春节300块钱是慰问你的老干部的。
老干部。
啊。
其他部的。
OK。Yeah. Jane, I just put your question to the old man. He said that now, as both a retired soldier and a retired public servant, because after the war, for several decades, his job was actually a local officer who worked in a public office, not necessarily in this village, but in a town that covered this village. And out of these both posts identities, he got he now has, first of all, an additional 1,700 yuan per month. 1,700 yuan per month, plus one of 5,000, a little bit more than 5,000 every Chinese Army Day, which is August the 1st. Every August the 1st is Chinese Army Day. Yeah. And he gets once a year, something like 5,000 yuan as a retired soldier. In addition to that, every Chinese New Year, there are local officers who come to visit him, and they will bring him 500 yuan in cash. Yeah. For him as a retired public servant, because again, he assumed a quite important post as a retired soldier when he worked in the local office. Yeah, 500 yuan for that account, and plus another 300 yuan. 最后300块钱是什么时候给的？
春节。
And another 300 yuan on Chinese New Year. Yeah. So if you put all this together, 1,700, 300, 500, and 5,000, so he basically gets quite a big addition to his pension now as financial support. 然后的话，我们这边的话时间来，我们这边的话计划的时间要差不多了。然后的话，您看一下， 是不是就是如果现在不展示的话呢，就可能就是再叙述一会儿，差不多就结束了。您看他愿不愿意就是展示一下？
佢講見那個設定嘅時間哈，唔知咩邊設定。
不過沒關係啊，如果
差不多嘞，
不方便沒關係的。
如果方便嘅話咧，等那你脖子還給當出來，你再看下的。
美国基本上还有
没问题。
好，然后问你个问题啊，您对现在的朝鲜半岛哈，就是朝鲜跟韩国，您知道的哈，这边两个国家，您对现在这两个国家有什么了解吗？就是您对那边的人，比如说韩国人和朝鲜人，他们的生活状态，你觉得哪个国家的人现在生活的更好，质量更好一点？
现在具体不那个，从外边心情看这个哈，朝鲜有朝鲜的不知道制度，宪法制度政策，这个是全民受益制、集体受益制的，韩国呢，这是私人资本主义，朝鲜我是宪法制，这个制度
All right, let me translate step by step.
这个是七大国嘛，我们中国我也可以做到，后续变成和老毛时代西方那种呢，按手术需要的时间比较正点，医疗变成看病哈，
朝鲜，
和老毛时代你没病搞那个，
就反正是中国一句话，朝鲜是社会主义国家，吃大锅饭集体饭的，
对，
韩国是资本主义国家，是
那您觉得
它是中的政府的服务，
对哪里好？您觉得哪里更优越一点？
你感觉到韩国和朝鲜哪个
就是朝鲜人，对，您就是朝鲜人跟韩国人，您觉得哪边的人过得更好一点？据您的了解。
据您的理解。
那么你也去片面的哈。
没事。
具体也搞不清楚。反正听电视台上有个报纸上看那个哈。朝鲜这个有时呢，跟这个全民皆兵啊。的
实力强大。
很强大。所以呢。美国佬其他国家要一下等待嘞，给去冻结一起的，和咱不一样啊。
Yeah, OK.
韩国呢，这个是党派内之争啊，被一起的，也和美国你看这个党派一起的，比带来我很清楚。
OK, 好，让我翻译一下。Let me translate because there was a lot of stuff here, and he said, first of all, Joe, I made your question to the lady, to the man, sorry. And he said that North Korea and South Korea nowadays, first of all, he said he doesn't know that much, but based on what he has learned from TV and radio and newspapers, that they are just different. In North Korea, they live a socialist, lifestyle, while in South Korea is privatization, and market business and market, economy. And there is also in North Korea, people are more united. It's kind of like the idea that everyone is able to fight upon a call, when need be. Well, in South Korea, they have different parties. They look fine on surface, but actually behind the door, people don't agree to each other. There are a lot of conflicts behind the door in South Korea. Well, in North Korea, people are more united, as if everyone were able to fight, if need be. This is what he basically covered. Yeah, this is his point. It's very interesting. 没事，您坐在这，放在这看一下。
老婆啊，你拿去？
不用，您就在这给我打开看一下就行。上次我已经看过了。
看过了啊。
How old is he? He is 93 years old. Now he is showing us the collected scraps he cut from the newspapers that he has read, and you can see the notes, underscores. This is the important way for him to get information. The title of this article says, "The Brave Captives of a Chinese Voluntary Army."以战止战，奠定强国之路。The title of this article says, an interpretation to the value of the Korean War to China. Use fight to stop a fight. On the path to a strong country. Hand-to-hand fight in Baiyun between Chinese and American soldiers. And this picture shows two American captives in their motorized vehicle, encircled by some Chinese voluntary army soldiers to North Korea. Hmm. 挺好，这些资料挺宝贵的。上次我读了以后，也是学到很多知识，了解到很多知识。
那个
最后能不能再让他展示一下那些奖章，看一下？
哦，
就展示一下就可以了，我们就看一下。
领金从可以展示下的不？
那已经长了嘛，
可以了，他说。
好，谢谢。因为这些东西太宝贵了，我们普通人根本没有机会能够在别的地方看到。
看不着吧？
这种很个看法。你哪个看人家？
How long did he stay in the army after the Korean War?
应该生育嘛，那看着你们是真的。
那变成本书。
是。
77来个。
John, to answer your question, we can see from here the certificate, and there is a date put here. It says 1955, December something. And after the war, he went to this military school in northeastern China to receive some education. So I guess after that, which was 1955, he kind of detached from the army. Then he just took on a journey on his way back to this village, and later he became a public servant in the local office. John? 1953, the Korean War ended. Then he stayed in the army for about 2 years at maximum to learn some basic Chinese characters. It's not easy to find people like him because he's 93 years old, and people who fought in the Korean War, that's a long time ago. It's not easy to find those people. It's quite fortunate for us to see a gentleman like him in this village that only has a registered population of several thousands. 5,000 to 6,000. This is the registered population. The actual number living now in this village is much smaller, probably less than 2,000 or even less. All right, finally, upon my request, the gentleman generously is now taking out his most important things, the medals. Last time when he displayed the medals to us, believe it or not, he put all the things actually in a plastic bag. And this time there's a change in the boxes.
谁一起来吧？这是他的奖章，光荣在党50年。
哦，这好像是一个不同的奖章，上次好像没看到这个奖章。
对。
This is a different medal. This medal we didn't see last time. It's a different medal. 这个没有看过哈。
对。
上次没看。
Yeah. This is a different medal. We didn't see this last time.
这个上次看过。
This is a medal that he got upon the 50th anniversary for him to be in the
人
party.
民志愿军抗美援朝出国作战70周年纪念章。
This is another medal to commemorate his contribution in the Korean War on the 70th anniversary. 把这个转一转。70th anniversary of the Korean War. He got this. Yeah, Joe, he is very sharp for 93. Indeed is.
哦，这和平章。
世界和平。
世界
第二次世界大战。
第二次世界大战和平奖章万岁。
没去，抗美援朝第二仗没去，第二次世界大战没去。
This is a medal for the world peace. Long life peace. Here is another precious one.
那个是
你经情办法的。
今日
立功勋章。
立功勋章。
朝鲜的。
朝鲜。
This was given by the North Korean, then Korean government, or the North Korean. I have to say, still North Korean government, and he mentioned the name of the founder of North Korea, Kim Il-sung. In English, Kim Jong-il.
这是抗美援朝胜利。
抗美援朝胜利章。
The founder, the grandfather of the present leader, and here is the medal given by China. There's the image of Chairman Mao on it. 这就是鸭绿江，这是中国，这是朝鲜。Here's the Yalu River, China, and Korea.
朝鲜中华的上等功的勋章。
朝鲜得了上等功的勋章。
这是他的手机哈。
对，智能机，还会玩抖音。
This is his smartphone. 你玩抖音吗？
玩的。
玩抖音啊？
新闻也看，什么都看。
都看。
不容易。
眼睛也不好。
他眼睛还可以。TikTok。
Do you feel able to ask him who will inherit these treasures? Yeah, I think we're going to finish soon, Jane, but I like your question. We actually a bird told us that something that I can use to answer this question. We heard it actually from another villager in his 70s from our small village where we live. And he told us that the old man has 7 children, 5 sons and 2 daughters. And now he has 5 important medals. So he plans to give all the 5 medals to his children. But the thing is, he has 7 children, while he has only 5 medals. So now the solution is he's going to give the 5 medals to 5 members of the 7, and the other 2 members, in exchange, will get, if they want, 20,000 yuan each as a compensation for not getting a medal. So this is actually an interesting piece I found, and
他说比较好。
好，那我们今天的采访其实也差不多了哈，时间已经不早了，
可以，
因为已经过掉了不少时间了
可。以。
好，那么谢谢您，老先生，王老。今天的话，我们采访可能差不多了。如果您有什么想说的话，可以再说一点。但是基本上差不多了。辛苦您了，辛苦您了，打扰了。谢谢您的分享。All right, just now I said thank you to the gentleman for his time and the experience he shared with us, and also his, hospitality, because he is indeed a hospitable person. Every time he sees us in passing, he just invites us to visit him for maybe a treat, for dinner at her home. Very, very hospitable. And I would say if he did go to school when he was young, he would have been a very good student, because look, this is what he likes doing: reading, taking notes on the articles, and a very patriotic, genuine man. Well, as to what's really happened in Korea and behind and before and after, we keep that on suspension today, right? Let's just take a listen to what the people here are talking about. Yeah, so we're going to wrap up soon, and let me give another look at their home. And they'll keep talking. 还有谢谢您啊，谢谢您这边的话就是跟我们一起参与进来，因为今天的话我们主要是跟他聊的比较多，时间比较有限，就没有在这边跟您聊的太多，以后有机会可以再聊。好。All right. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed today's tour and have got some information. All right. So that's it for today, guys. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can leave here, and I will go back and check. Until next time, it's goodbye.
哎呀，你们辛苦了。啊，